Hi guys, it's Philip here, and this is the 6th composition we're building. Let me show you which one we're building now. And this is the composition we're building in this video, so let's get started. As I mentioned in the previous video, you can have your Octane live viewer open. While building this, it will be easier for you. You can just use an HDRI such as this one, and yeah, we'll undock it here and move it to the left screen so that we can focus on modeling. As with our previous, we will need a cylinder, so use the starter scene. I'm just gonna copy over the cylinder because I don't have it in this scene, but yeah, you can use the starter scene. The cylinder will already be there. And let's begin with the background elements. As always, we wanna create these shapes. As you can see them here, these are sort of pentagons that have been extruded, that have been put one next to each other and then extruded. We could start with end side, and let's scale it down. Okay, this is the end side we need. Let's just extrude this end side, and yeah, this is what we get. Offset is to 30. I think this is fine. Let's put it to 40. Okay, I reduce it down. Okay, let's now put it into the cloner and go for the linear. So the cloner object is linear, and pull the cloner down and put these things, increase them like this. And yeah, this is it. Actually, now when I think of it, I think they need to intersect. Yeah, they have to intersect like this, and then what's intersecting here needs to be removed. This is actually how this was made. So let's click on the extrude, click on caps, make sure to bevel this a bit, and now make the cloner, click on the extrude, press C, and we will create all of these. Just delete these tags, we don't need that. And now we have 3 cloners. We want to press C, make this cloner editable. Now we have just 3 elements here. Now let's use boolean to see what we can create here. So add a bool and put the top 2 into the boolean, and now let's see what we can do here. Let's just hide this, it's confusing me. So this, let's leave the camera screen to see what will happen here. So this happens when we use A subtract B, because this one, okay, we have to, okay, it's not really cutting at all. So I'm just gonna make this a bit wider, so that it covers everything here. I will make it wider like this. So this is the first part. Now, what I want to do when I turn off this boolean, yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick this one. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one, and what I'm gonna do with it, let's pull this up a bit. I think this is the perfect way to do this. And while this is here, let's make this appear here again. Okay, we have one boolean here. I will duplicate this boolean and put it here. Now for our left boolean, I will click on this element, press Alt G to create a group, and I will duplicate, press down Control and move this down to duplicate this and to create this shape, because we need this shape as well. So let's just try to make it symmetrical. Okay, we need this shape because this shape will go, let's actually, this is more of the shape that we want. And we're gonna put this shape on top of this one and just use this one on top to rotate it. So click on this boolean on the right, press C to make this editable, and then just mouse wheel down, click with the mouse wheel and connect all of these things. And now do the same here, press C for this boolean, press down the mouse wheel and connect all of these things. and you can just remove this one. So I'm gonna pull this here, I'm gonna jump to the camera view, pull this, put it down here, and now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it, yeah, this is not perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like this and then go into the point mode and select all of these points and move them here. And this is fine. And now I wanna select this one, pull it up, rotate it 180 degrees and put it here. And select 3 of these, move them here, move them up, scale them, rotate them a bit, pull them down. Something like this, pull them down here, and then select this one, and then put it here. So I don't want the gap to be visible between these, so I'm gonna, okay, now we have some sharp edges here. So I'm just gonna select all of these, go into the edge mode and double click the edges that are sharp, and I'm gonna bevel them. So yeah, this model is not really production ready. You wouldn't be able to animate it or morph it around, but for the illustration purposes and if it's a static object, this works because the geometry, the topology is not really perfect. So I'm just gonna select these edges. Let's try using a loop selection here. Loop selection. It's not really working, but maybe we'll... Okay, let's select this by hand. Okay, and here we're fine here. Okay, double clicking actually worked here, and this thing here as well. Double click here. Okay. Double click here. Okay. I think I selected everything here. Let's try to bevel this. Bevel it just a little bit. Okay, it breaks completely. Yeah. Let's go to edge mode, Control 8 to select everything and optimize to connect all the edges that weren't connected. And let's try beveling this again. So now the bevel works. And it beveled it just fine. Let's jump like this, and now I don't want these gaps to be seen, so I'm just gonna click on this, drag it down, and click on this and drag it down. Okay. Okay, this is our shape. This is fine. And now we wanna do the next one. Okay, now the next shape we are building is this one over here. As you can see, it's a cube, and we're gonna give it some segments so that we can bend it, and then we will make some internal cuts and extrude it on both sides, so on front and on the back, but you can't really see it in the back here. So yeah, we will just do it on one side since it's not really necessary. So let's do it. First create a cube, and we're gonna jump to the top view, make the cube like this and like this. Let's jump into the camera view. So here is the cube. Let's change it slightly. Okay, this is fine. I'm gonna leave the camera view and come to do this. Okay, now before we can bend this, we need to give it segments. So I think 18 here is good. 20, 21. Yeah, 21 works. And now, while having cube selected, hold down Shift on your keyboard and press bend. Bend will be the child of the cube. And let's try bending it. Strength. Okay, this is the right bend. Maybe a bit less. Okay, something like this is fine. Yeah. So select both the bend and the cube, pressing down the mouse wheel and connect objects plus delete. And this is the geometry we get. Now what we want to do is jump into the edge mode and go for the ring selection. And we want to make one, press MM to add this edge, and then press MM again, and then press MM again. So now when you have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these segments, this should be fine. Let's now start extruding these. So what you want to select here are these, and then these. Let's deselect. Control, you press Control on your keyboard to do deselect, and Shift to do multiple selection. So this is kind of tedious, but yeah, let's just select. Okay, now I want to press down Control and extrude this. It should be good. Let's press D and do the extrusion here so that we know that we have it saved. I think 4.9 centimeters is fine. Let's now we want to deselect the outer edge. So go for the loop selection and press down Control and deselect this, 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 and this. Now press D and type in here and press Enter, and this will be extruded as well. Now let's do the same. UL, deselect all of these. This as well, and press D and extrude this as well. Yeah, this should be it. And now I see we should have maybe added one more segment so that we have an edge here, a solo thing here, but that's not necessary. This will work as well. We're just going to add a bevel modifier here, so do the same like in the previous on the cube. Put down a bevel deformer here, and as you can see, it bevels everything, and this is what we wanted. Let's add another segment. So for the offset here, add 3 subdivisions or 4. Yeah, this will look interesting. It's not exactly the same to what we made because we have an additional bevel here, but I think it will look pretty cool. So let's jump into the camera mode. And we are going to put it somewhere here, rotate it slightly. Okay, what happened now? Okay, and we want to rotate it, let's see, we want to rotate it like this. Like this. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, we're gonna leave that here. Let's now add this big black element. We're gonna use a sweep for this. So let's jump into the front view and grab a polygon, actually a spline pen, and we're just gonna click. We're not gonna click and drag. We're just gonna click some edges. So we want to do this. Okay, we don't want this. Go escape. And don't have anything selected here. So deselect everything, select this spline, delete it. So make sure nothing is selected here so that we don't make something that we don't want, and click here, and then click here. And we want to shape similar to this one. Maybe something like this, and this. Okay, go escape, now grab a rectangle selection, select 2 of these. Press down Shift and move it to align them and make them parallel. So go down to 0 with this one as well. This is fine, it should be like this and angled. And this. Okay, now select these, actually all the points, and right click chamfer. And this is the shape we want. And another thing here is, yeah, we're gonna move it here. Okay, this is our spline. Now we wanna add a rectangle. Make it editable by pressing C and scale it down, something like this. And with this rectangle here, I'm gonna rotate it like this. Okay, now let's add a sweep and put both of these splines into the sweep. Jump back to the front view, let's rotate it to see how this looks like. Okay, this is fine. Let's select the rectangle and now press scale to see how we want to scale it. We want to scale it like this and like this. Perfect. Yeah, this is the shape that we were going for. The only thing left is we want to make the rectangle rounded, so disable sweep, and now our rectangle is here. Go to the top view, go to the point mode, select all the points, right click, chamfer. Now jump back F1 to the front view and activate the sweep, and we are gonna chamfer with the sweep activated to see what will happen. And yeah, we want to add a bend, so chamfer just slightly so that we get that nice reflections on our sweep. And yeah, that's perfect. Now let's just position this element the way we want it. So select sweep and rotate it a bit, maybe scale it down just slightly, put it here. Okay. Yeah, this is our element. Let's now do the next. I'll build this, and we will build this using spline masks. So let's jump here to the right so that we don't get confused, and create a circle. Pull it to the right, jump to the front view just to make it easier. We can put it here, then pull it up and put it here, resize it, put it somewhere here. Okay, so now because we're gonna cut this shape once and this shape once, but this shape needs to be cut 2 times by both circles, we're gonna prepare our circles for the cut. So we need 2 of these to be for our bottom. So we're just gonna call this bottom. I grouped them together. Now we need this one and this one. So I'm just gonna duplicate this and duplicate this. Select 2 of these, and I'm gonna group them together, and I'm gonna call this one top. So that's 2 of these. And now we have this. What's left is the circle in the middle, and that's this one. And for this one we need all three of them for this one to work. So I'm just gonna select 2 of these and find the one that's, yeah, this is the one. Copy and click here, and yeah, for this one I'm just gonna call this one middle. I'm gonna hide 2 of these, so let's first create the bottom one. So create a spline mask and put 2 of these here and add it to the spline masks so that only the bottom one is there. This is perfect. Add the spline mask into the extrude, and this is what we get. Okay, now we have the middle. So create for the middle to work. No, let's do the middle last. Let's do the top now. For the top to work, let's add a spline mask. Add the 2 of these to the spline mask. Change the spline mask to A subtract B and add this one into the extrude. Nice. Okay, we are now left with all 3 of these. Let's hide these 2 extrudes. So in order for all 3 of these, I'm gonna group the 2 of these together and create a spline mask. And I'm gonna put this mid circle in this group here. And now A subtract B. Yeah, this is what we want. And add this into the extrude as well. I'll make 2 of these extrudes visible and move this here. So jump to the top view, just make it aligned. It's not really, the axis point is not there. Okay, doesn't matter, this is fine. And now for the offset, I want them 20 centimeters. All of these extrudes, make them 20 centimeters. And just position them correctly. Nice. And for these extrudes, let's select all of them. Put them to 30, and this one sucks. Let's move it so that it's there. And we wanna select all of these extrudes and add a fillet to the edges. So select 3 of them, go to the caps. Here is the bevel, add 1, add 2. Okay. Group these together and move this here. Change the axis, put it here. Lock the axis. Jump to the camera view. And yep, this is what we wanted. We're gonna rotate it like this, pull it down. And this is exactly what we were hoping to make. Nice. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now let's add an X shape, that's this one. So this one is a cylinder. Put a cylinder somewhere here. Add 50 segments to it so that it's smooth. Make it editable. Select the top here, pull it down a bit, and now select the edges. Leave the camera view. What we want to do here is select all these polygons and delete them. Okay. Now loop selection, select all of these, and press down Control and pull this out. Press T to scale, and scale these like this. Okay. And now when we have this, we want to press the scale again, start scaling it here. And now we want to weld this, so right click, weld, and then just click here, and it will weld together. Now select this edge and select this edge and bevel them. Yes. And yeah, this is it. Go to the edge mode. And yeah, make this, select only these, scale them outwards, put them up. Select these, scale them inwards, put them a bit like this. And now select these and scale them inwards a bit. This is fine. Okay, we now want to add a pyramid. So this pyramid, scale it down, put it, rotate it, put it somewhere here. Well, let's see what we can change here. Nothing really. Make the pyramid editable by pressing C, select all the elements and bevel. Add some segments to the pyramid so that it has some reflections. Scale it up. This is fine. Let's now add a sphere. And we put the sphere here. Put it down. And add 100 segments to the sphere. And now we want to add another sphere, put it here, and create a boolean, and put both of this sphere into the boolean, and change the boolean. Okay, let's replace the spheres, and this is what we want. So move the axis, put it here, and actually put the axis here, and I'll rotate it, and yeah, this is what we wanted. Now we want to create this little shape. We're gonna do this with a cube. So let's add a cube, put it somewhere here, rotate it, scale it down. Leave the camera view. Okay, this cube, we want to rotate it. Okay, we want to keep it like this. Let's just move it down here. Okay, let's make this cube editable. Press C and pull it down. And jump into the object mode to put it like this, okay? Again, let's pull these things down. And now what we want to do is, we want to delete this, view all, select these. Now we want to scale this inwards. And we want to press down Control and pull it up and scale it outwards, like this. Pull it up. Now scale it again and pull it inwards, so that it's kind of the same. And now scale it again and pull it outwards. And we want to scale this up a bit, pull it outwards like this. And now scale it again like this. And we want to close this. Right click, close polygon hole. Okay. Now put this into a subdivision surface. And press Q to disable the subdivision surface. Now we want to add the loop cuts. So add a loop cut here. Add a loop cut here. And add a loop cut here. And add it here. Okay, now add a loop cut here, here and here, and it here and here. So what we're essentially creating are these squares around the edges. So here and here. We wanna build them here and here and here and here as well. Okay, let's press Q, and yep, this is what we wanted. Jump back to the camera view. And this is perfect. Okay, the next thing we want to do is this shape. We have already created it, but let's just do it again. It's not really that hard. So we want a torus, pull it here. Put it here. Okay, and now we want to slice it, rotate it. First we will do the bottom one, duplicate it, rotate it, and now we want to make this one the ring radius. We want to increase it. No, the pipe radius, and reduce the ring radius. That's perfect, yeah. Now the next thing we want to add is a little cone. So cone goes here. Add a lot of segments to the cone, so a lot of height segments and a lot of rotation segments. Okay, and now we want to add a cylinder on top of the cone. Press Control to add it there. And scale down the cylinder, rotate it. Leave the camera view, and yeah, put a cylinder like this. And now for the cylinder, add a lot of segments to it as well, rotation segments. And then create a boolean. And now we want to cut the cylinder out of this. Perfect. Let's see in the boolean. Create single object, optimize points. I'm not sure what this does. And then press C and it will create this. That's perfect. Now the next object we want to create is this one that we can't really see, but let's just create a cube. Leave the camera view and scale the cube down. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, make this cube editable, and now pull this out and pull this up, and then create a loop cut here, and then select this and press down Control and pull this here. Okay, now what we want to do here is right click, split, and put it here, pull it here, and then D to extrude. and then D to extrude here as well, like this, and then add a loop cut here, and then pull this one, press down Control, pull it here, press down Control and pull this here, and select 3 of these, pull them out, and maybe select this and pull it down. So yeah, let's group 2 of these together, just merge them like this, select objects and delete, and put a bevel deformer, add some subdivisions, and that's perfect. Jump back to the camera view, pull this, we will rotate it and put it here. Nice. Okay, now let's add a sphere here. A sphere somewhere here. Add a lot of segments to it. And then make that sphere like maybe 30. Yeah, this is fine. Make the sphere editable and go into the edge mode, press down Control Loop U all, and select like every other. Press D and preserve groups and make. Let's leave the camera mode to see what happens here. Press D and pull them inwards 2 times, 1, 2. And let's add that to the subdivision surface. This is what we get. Nice. Let's just maybe increase the scale. Here. Unlock the Y and put it somewhere here. Okay. Now let's add a little sphere here, like this. It doesn't need a lot of segments because it's little. Let's put it to 40, and then create a MoGraph cloner and put that sphere into the cloner. And we wanna create the cloner to be. It can be grid array. It can stay like that. Let's just see here. Put 50, 50, 50, or 20, 20, 20. Okay, pull this cloner here. Nice. Let's create a little pyramid and scale it like this. Put it somewhere here. Go into the edge mode. C to make it editable. Select all the edges. Bevel. Do this. Okay. And the last object we want to add is this Voronoi, but I don't really like the Voronoi anymore. So I'm just gonna add a tube and put it somewhere here. Yeah. And make the tube, add a fillet to it. Yeah. And add a lot of segments, rotation segments to it. And kill the height segments. Nice. Yeah, we're done here. I want to start rendering this. So let's turn on our Octane. Make sure the Octane settings are already set. So these are my Octane settings. Pause the video and insert them if you don't have them already. This is my HDRI Studio 03. It's a 2-point light setup. One light is stronger, one is not. Shoot it. Activate the Octane. Okay. Now this is fine. For the background, I want the background to be pink. Let's add pinkness more. This pink is fine. Now I want to add a purple to this shape here, and pinkish to this, and blue to this. I want to add a purple to this pyramid. I want sort of a black color for this big shape, so I'm just gonna change this purple to really something dark. And I want a golden for this shape. Nice. The pyramid behind it, I will put it yellow. Maybe this one is blue, this one is pink, this one is golden as well, and this one is purple. This one here is purple as well, this is blue, this is pink, this is yellow. The huge thing here is pink as well. Let's add a silver or like a metal to these, and yellow to this, maybe blue to this abstract thingy, and then another metal object to this one. And to the bottom I want to add yellow. Okay. Now I want to play with the lights because this light is not really, it's kind of flat. We'll just put the light. I want the light to come from, let's see if it comes from the left, what happens. No, it's bad. Okay, this is my HDRI, but let's try lighting this differently. Let's turn off the HDRI and add a light. And jump here to the visibility, general visibility, hide it, hide camera visibility, and hide shadow visibility. And now reduce the light intensity, the light power to something like 19, and rotate this light, put it here to the right, and scale it up a bit, like this, put it here. Maybe rotate it a bit, put it here, and reduce the intensity of light to 6, maybe 7. And now take that light and duplicate it, put it to the left, here, and reduce the intensity to 3 or 2. Okay, and now take this light, duplicate it, and put it and light the background with it, like this, and change it like this, make it wider. Okay, and maybe add some blue to this light and reduce the intensity a bit. It's kind of a washed out look. Let's jump into the camera settings, camera imager, and see what happens if we pull the gamma down. Nothing's happening. Let's pull this down. We can now activate our HDRI, but reduce it to 1. And now let's see in the camera settings what happens when we change the gamma. Okay. Okay, we also want to add one more light, and that is from the top. So duplicate this as well and rotate it like this and like this, and pull it up here. Yeah. So I want to change this shader, the black one, into something even darker. And maybe increase the index or decrease the index and decrease the roughness. But increase the index to 130. Let's see for this light if we move it down a bit, put it somewhere here. Yeah, and pull this down a bit. So we have 3 lights. One is from the right, one is from the left, one is lighting up the background, and one is coming from the top. Actually, this is 4 lights. And yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. Let's just go to the camera and maybe increase the gamma a bit. Let's play with the exposure. Yeah, we could increase the exposure, but just slightly. Okay, for the right light, I wanna maybe pull this closer to the composition and maybe crank it to 8. Cool. Okay, I'm happy with this. Send it to render and we're off to the next composition. Good job, guys. Actually, pull this down a bit. And now I see that this one is not really shaded, the whole one, so make sure that this covers all and that nothing is floating. And maybe even move this move this pyramid here so that it catches some light. But yeah, that's it. Send this to rendering and we're off to the next composition. Good job guys, take care, bye bye. Hi guys, in this video we will light and render the 6th composition and the last one of the course. So the first thing I want to do is here, let's just take the camera and the Octane Sky here. The HDRI is here, it comes from the right of the scene as you can see. The first thing I want to change is this golden color that we have in our in the modeling phase. It's too saturated, so in specular here reduce the saturation to something like this, and as you can see this is much better. Okay, the HDRI comes from the right and we want to do our standard light setup, so create a new light, pull it somewhere here, increase its height, width, reduce the height, put the light somewhere here, and jump into the visibility, turn off all of this, and let's put the backlight to something like 4. Okay, this is our backlight. Now I want to name it backlight. Now I'll duplicate it here, remove it, move it, and rotate it like this. And this is the key light. I'm going to increase its intensity to something like 8, or maybe even 10. Let's try 8.5. And yeah, this is the key light. Let's now duplicate the key, put it somewhere here, duplicate the key light and rotate it. This is our fill light. And we want, of course, to reduce the power here to 3 maybe. Okay, this looks good. And now we want to add a top light. So move the backlight here, rotate it, and increase its size. Pull it up like this. And yeah, this is the top light. Perfect. Yeah, this was the look I was going for. Let's see in the camera imager, we have the exposure, the gamma. Yeah, we're gonna keep them as it is. But yeah, this is perfect. Great job, you guys. You finished the 6th composition as well, and basically it's the end of the course. Check out the outro lesson where I'll talk about your portfolio and how to publish these pieces. But yeah, I'm really proud of you and I hope you enjoyed this course. Take care, bye bye.